Welcome to Cross Yoga. My name's Ria, and I'm here today to guide you through a slow class, which means that we'll take a couple of breaths in each posture to really open up and feel what's going on in our bodies, so we won't be moving a whole lot with the pace of our breath. And today I have a story, a brilliant story, I think, from the Old Testament that speaks to us about purpose and life calling and how we tend to handle all that stuff in our life. I'll invite you to take a seat and let's begin with just 1 minute of breathing. As you take that somewhat comfortable seat, you might shake your shoulders, your neck, sigh out if you like. And maybe you, like me, have this sensation that the mat become a representation of God's presence. If there is any shame, any worries you want to let go of, please let go of that, because we want to be with God without feeling less. We want to be in God's presence feeling completely free, loved, heard, and seen. Let me begin with counting as we breathe in and out, and I'll shorten the inhale compared to the exhale. So I'll count up to 4 on our inhale and down from 6. If you at any point feel dizzy, of course you just breathe normally. So take an inhale through your nose if possible. 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale. 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And then continue counting on your own for a moment. If this was not enough time, you can always pause the video and continue on your own for a little bit longer. But do a couple of free seated movements that get your body going. Move slow. We'll move a little bit before I share the story. I love the stories, both in the Old Testament and the New, because there are so many layers of them. And that's the whole purpose, I think, with why there are these stories. It is so that we can identify and interpretate them into our present life and our human life, wherever we are, what age, what century we live in, what culture we live in. Bring yourself into tabletop. Make sure your wrists have been a little bit active. And then take your right leg behind you like this. You might want to lift it up, belly button in, so you're not leaning back or doing a half cow or cat for that matter. And then cross the right foot down on the left side of the mat and gaze towards that foot to get a bit of a side stretch on your right side body. Lift it up again And then bring the right knee in. Let's do that with a breath a couple of times. Inhale, extend the right leg, belly button in. Exhale, cross it over, gaze towards the foot. Inhale, extend, heel no higher than the hip. Exhale, knee in. Last 2 times. You want a little bit more. You can bring the left hand with you out. Hold that. Exhale, you might take it out to the side. Balancing. Inhale, midline. Exhale, knee and elbow in. Here you do a cat, shoot the spine up. Straight spine, inhale. Exhale. Inhale, bring it back. Knee, elbow. And down. Opposite side, let's just do it with a leg the first 2 times. Extend the left leg out. You can point the toes down. Inhale, cross it over. Don't move your right thigh or your right hip. Inhale, bring it back. Exhale, knee in. Shoot the spine up towards the sky. One more time. Inhale, extend, belly button in. Exhale, foot down, gaze towards the foot. Inhale, lift it up. Exhale, bring it in. Of course, you can continue here. Or lift your right arm up. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, forward. Exhale, knee, elbow. Last time. Extend. Exhale, lower down, side stretch. Inhale to the front. Exhale, knee, elbow. Knee and hand down. You might shake your wrists. And then walk your hands further to the front for our first downward facing dog. We are going to slow down, but typically have a little bit of movement warming up before we do that. Walk your feet to the top end of the mat. Fold forward. You can stay here, shake your wrists. Bend your knees softly. Bring your arms by your ears. Sweep the arms back and continue that circle back. And like your arms are pulling you up towards the sky, standing tall. And then leaning back for a little bit of a back bend with a cactus arm. So you're going to open up your chest like this. And then bring the hands to the front. And fold forward. With your fingertips on the floor, if you happen to have blocks, you might take that on the right hand. You bring the right foot to the back end of the mat. Stay low. Twisting for a last warm up. Belly button towards the sky. You can bring the back knee down if this is just a little bit too much. Again, circle the arm back. Knee off. If it is down, fold forward to the top end of the mat. One more time, chair pose. You can stand tall, you can go low. Bring the arms back. Up. Circle the arms back. Up to mountain pose. Cactus arms. Open up the chest. Bring the hands to the front, and you might want to get a bit of a stretch behind the shoulder blades if you kind of bring your arms to the front. And then you bring your shoulder blades back into its spot when you fall forward. Left leg up and to the back end of the mat. And again, you might want to use a block. Front knee somewhat over the ankle, and the feet or the toes are in the direction, long end of the mat. Your right hand will extend up towards the sky, and you decide if you lower the back knee down on the mat. Repeating that. Come to the front. Fold forward. Bend your knees. You can move with the breath if you're not into that. Just breathe. But bring your arms back. Inhale if that makes sense. Mountain pose. Exhale, lean back, cactus arms. Inhale, arms to the front. Bring them back in. Fold forward, exhale. Inhale, halfway lift, right foot back. Take a hold of the block if you like. Exhale, lower that foot down. Your left arm is going to come up so the belly button draws in the direction of the thigh. And exhale. Front or up top arm down. Step to the front, fold forward. Last time through. Chair pose. Sweep the arms back. Inhale as you rise. Exhale, cactus arms. You can always sigh out. Straighten your spine, palms forward. Exhale, fold forward. Halfway lift your left leg up and back. Take a hold of a block if you want to. Lower the foot down, lower the hip down for a little bit of a hip opener. And your right arm comes up. And then this time we're going to slow down, downward facing dog. Bring the block away, step the feet back, hip up and back, and make sure you bend those knees so you're not rounding in the spine. Take 3 deep breaths. Bringing the shoulders away from the ears. Maybe shake your head. The story I'm going to share with you, I don't know if this Elijah or Jeremiah guy, he was dreaming or he had a vision. You imagine that. Find child's pose. Get your knees maybe mat width distance. If this doesn't serve your body, you can always find another variation of a child's pose to come down on your belly. I'm going to share the story just once and just pay attention. Notice what kind of pops into your mind as odd or as inspirational. It's Jeremiah that is sharing this story. The word of the Lord came to me saying, "Before I formed you in the womb, I knew you. Before you were born, I set you apart. I appointed you as prophet to the nations." "Oh, sovereign Lord," I said, "I do not know how to speak. I'm only a child." But the Lord said to me, "Do not say I'm only a child. You must go to everyone I sent you to and say whatever I command you. Do not be afraid of them, for I am with you, and I will rescue you, declares the Lord." Then the Lord reached out his hand and touched my mouth and said to me, "Now I have put my words in your mouth." Jeremiah is called in this way. And I find 4 things that I want to emphasize as we slowly start to move. But if there was just one thing that spoke to you, stay with that. Maybe you gently move out of child's pose and into your downward facing dog. In your downward facing dog, make sure you have your hands and fingertips grounded well down into the mat. And then slowly raise up the right leg so you get into your 3-legged dog. Keep the hip closed, so don't open up the hip. With the hip closed, you're going to bring the heel towards the buttocks without bringing the knee out. Maybe you lift the knee a little bit high up towards the ceiling. You're walking on the ceiling with the foot as well. Feeling your legs, also the left, really fire up. And slowly bring that right knee underneath your belly. and to the front, and take your time. It's okay if it's a little bit hard. Pivot on the back foot. If you happen to have a block with you, try to bring that into your back hand. So that must be your left hand if I'm mirroring you here. Sink down into your warrior two, knee always over ankle. Back heel aligned with the back end of the mat. You might feel the heaviness of this block in your hand. Sink a little bit deeper. Maybe you open up your hip. Wiggle the feet further apart for 1 or 2 more breaths. Jeremiah had to switch his gaze. And let's switch block to the front hand. Bring it overhead. Move it to the front hand. Hold it for a moment. Jeremiah's calling was in his life. Always, like it was in the back, but he was not focusing on it. God said, I knew you before you were born. It was there. But God had to call him to see, this is the direction. This is what I'm calling you to do. So the block kind of symbolizes that. You can bring it down on the inside of the foot. If you prefer the outside, you can go ahead and do that. Find that height, that makes sense. Top arm reaches up. Or if you like, bring it behind you and bring that top shoulder. You might take a hold of the shoulder. Bring it up. Keep it there as you bend the elbow and bring it behind you. One more breath. Release. Again, you might want to use the block. Take the back heel off. And I'm actually going to bring the foot, the left foot, a little bit further out to the left side of the mat. Use the block for the left hand. I'm going to stay in this wide pyramid pose with the front foot down. Extend both legs to the degree that I can. And see if I can twist this direction. So right arm up towards the sky. Slowly bring both hands down. See if you can come to the front in one big step. Maybe that's not possible. Either way, fold forward. And then come into a half lift. It's a bit difficult to know when you are lifted up halfway, but try to go with 90-degree angle from thigh to belly, depending on where your belly is, but spine maybe. Stay here, pull the belly button in, or go with the airplane arms, or if you want a little bit more, to the front. Breathe. And see if you can hold it 1 or 2 more breaths here. Slowly bend the knees, rise into mountain pose, and bring your hands behind you. Hold whatever way that makes sense. Open up your chest by pulling the shoulder blades together. Gaze might be up. Release. Inhale, rise the arms up as you stand super tall. Exhale, fold forward. If you want to go through a vinyasa, if you know what that is, you can do so. If you just want to step back into your down dog, I am doing that. Make sure you get your hands pretty wide so your pinky finger might be to the edge of the mat. Bring the tailbone up and back, which might mean that you're going to bend your knees a little bit more than you want to. And when you have that found, then you have that great grip on the mat, you're going to lift the left leg up. The sequence on the other side. Keep the hip closed, feet pointing down. Bend the knee. bring the heel towards the buttocks and feel the hamstring, the back of the thigh turn on. Mindful that you're not opening up your hip. Slowly bring the left knee underneath your belly and to the top of the mat. Pivot the back foot, and again, if you have a block, or it can be a water bottle or something like that, bring it in the back hand there, whatever way you want to hold it. Gaze towards the front foot, sink down. Pulling the shoulder blades back. And as we're here, I'm asking you if there is something that's within your reach. The block, the calling is within your reach. You're just not focusing on it because you're gazing forward like we do in Warrior 2. Is there something? You can bring the block up to the front hand that you need to pray about, focus on, because you know there's more. There is some discontent. There is something. Ask God, reflect, pray, if that's what you do. Now Jeremiah, he actually wanted to drop. I don't want you to drop the block, but you can picture it, right? I am too young, I can't do that. But that's not an excuse. You can bring the block down though, inside, outside, whatever you choose. Bring the hip underneath yourself as you lean forward. Top arm up or behind you, as we did before maybe. Breathe still deeply. One more breath. And it's okay if your thigh is challenged here. We are going to move around, back heel off, and your right foot, bring a little bit further out to the side. Tailbone back, and you can always shorten the distance in between your feet if you like. And then do this wide-legged pyramid twist kind of a thing. You don't have to look up. You can definitely look down and bring the left thigh underneath yourself so it's not sticking out. And sweep the arm back. This time, step back and bring yourself down on your belly. You might gonna go through a plank to low plank. Stack your hands and bring your forehead down on those hands. I'm thinking about 4 things in this story. First, and most important, the first calling is always know God and be known by God. Second thing is the actual purpose of your life here. What is it? Jeremiah was called to be a prophet. I'm not sure you and I are called to that, but something. Thirdly, our response. How do we deal with that calling? And fourthly, knowing our calling. After the story that I shared, they have a dialogue. And knowing your calling, continuously walking in that calling, also when you get impatient and when you don't see the results. Slowly lift your chest up. I'm gonna go back to those 4 a little bit later. Bow pose or variations there, or if you can simply just lift up here, shoulders off the mat. Step 1. Step 2, bend the knees and lift up the knees. Step 3, you can take a hold of the ankles if you happen to be able to reach. Step 4, kick the ankles into the hands so your knees come up, your chest comes up. Notice that your shoulder blades are connecting there at the back. And release, come down on the mat. Hands by the shoulders. Lift up tabletop for just a moment and do the cat to release tension from that back bend. Straighten out the spine and then take a seat on the mat, whatever direction makes sense for your body. You can bring the right foot out and the left you're going to cross over. We're going to do a seated spinal twist. So make sure you sit up tall and you bring this knee to the chest as much as you possibly can. So this is your left knee. I'm mirroring you. Bring the right hand, hold that knee. Twist with both sitting bones on the mat towards your left side. See if you can sit as tall as possible without leaning back. I know there's this variation where you can take a hold of the elbow out there, but for now, just hold the knee. You stay put for one more breath. If you want a little bit more, see if you can lift the back hand off and keep it hovering, belly button in. Huck the knee without the support of this right hand into the belly button. See if you can stay in this seated twist without moving. For 4, 3, 2, and 1. Release. Other side. Your right leg crossed, hug it in with the left arm, so you twist with the belly button as much towards the thigh as you can. Sit tall, back hand behind you. Make sure the top of the head is directly on top of the spine. Maybe lift the back hand off. See if you can connect with the thigh. What you're going to pull in as you maybe take the left hand off as well. Stay. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Release. You can take a seated forward fold if you prefer that. I'm going to guide you into plow pose. And you're going to, if you don't know it, you're going to watch the screen first because I don't want you to be in plow pose and move your neck. Okay, so don't do that. If you have any back issues, stay here. Don't overthink this. Beautiful posture as well does the same as the plow pose. So if you don't know the plow pose, look at the screen. If you do know it, just make your way, close your eyes. So I'm going to come down on my back here, lift the hip up, chin towards the chest. Now it can be here, extend your legs. Maybe your feet reaches down on the mat, maybe they don't. This is where I don't want you to move your neck. Your hands can be on the hip or on the floor, whatever you choose. Please get yourself into either of the shapes, forward fold or this one. Some people prefer a blanket underneath their neck there. Don't overdo it. Notice if you're tense up in your shoulders. I'll let you know when you're going to get out of it, so just close your eyes, focus on breathing. And don't force those feet down. They might not. if you're ready to come out, bring your hands up on your thigh. Don't look at the screen. Bring your hands up on your thigh, your hips, wherever it makes sense. Slowly, vertebrae by vertebrae, come down again. And bring your feet at some point down on the mat with knees bent. If you were seated, you can come down with us here, supine. And then I'd like to ask you, as you're resting here, these 4 things I mentioned before: being known by God, know God, spirituality. Maybe that's where you're going to focus. Maybe God is like a foreign object. Maybe the Bible is as well. Maybe this is the first calling for you. Maybe it is to figure out, where am I supposed to go? Where is God calling me? Maybe it's for a season. Maybe it's a bigger thing. It can be as a parent. It can be as a CrossYoga instructor. I don't know. What is on your heart? Number 3, maybe you need to reflect and pray. Surrender the excuses you have. You know you're calling. You just keep procrastinating. You keep pushing it off. You might be disappointed. Do you have an excuse that you keep saying, like Jeremiah, I'm too young, or I'm too old, I'm too... Or number 4, maybe you know where to go. Maybe you have surrendered the excuses. It's just taking time. It did for Jeremiah. I don't have time to read all that. Pray for God's guidance, patience, courage. So as we find rest here, feet dropping out, hands on the floor, you might pray. You might even find the shape of child's pose if surrender those excuses or something else is what you need to do. Close your eyes. Pray. Even if you haven't prayed before, you might utter out some words inside yourself. This class might have stirred some thoughts. And maybe if you have time, you need to write some stuff down to reflect more. Welcome to do so. I really encourage you to do so if you have a lot of things going on. So if you're ready to move out of this, you can wiggle your fingers and toes. Maybe take a big morning stretch or hug your knees in. And then find that comfortable seat that makes sense in your body. I would love to finish with a prayer. As always, you can just listen along or you can pray along. God, may your calling and your purpose for our lives be clear to us. Help us to not use excuses and avoid your calling. Give us the boldness and courage to step forward into whatever you have. Amen. From my heart to yours, thank you for participating again. Make sure that you share this video if you felt it makes sense to you. There might be other people who can benefit from it. Thank you.